It makes it very, very difficult for farmers. It's too few slaughterhouses, and they're owned by such big corporations that when something happens, it closes off a third of beef production.
Global food producers are facing supply chain disruptions due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Canadian meat producers are among those affected, and it spurred a conversation around local food independence.
Well, I'm kind of in a unique position. I actually used to be in supply chain management for grocery stores, and now I'm in farming. So I see it from both ends. Currently, we have shortages in processing facilities. We are having plants here locally as well that are having to do 14-day closures and things like that because of outbreaks locally.
Cargill's 2 facilities in Alberta and Ontario make up 55% of beef processing in Canada. The plant in High River, Alberta, had recently closed for 2 weeks after a large outbreak.
What kind of things have you done around the farm to make sure that the animals stay safe, that your workers stay safe?
Well, we're in constant communication with our processing facilities just to make sure that if anything does come up, that we know right away so that we can try and act accordingly. We also are making sure that when we are going to our processing facilities, we have to fill out paperwork. They check our temperature when we arrive. We have to wear masks and gloves and all of that kind of thing to help keep their staff safe.
What advantages or disadvantages would a local producer have when it comes to distribution of their goods locally?
Yeah, that is tough. When the pandemic first happened and COVID had the big outbreak, we saw a lot of the farmers markets shut down, which is detrimental for farmers like me because all of a sudden it cuts off our ability to directly communicate and directly get our product into the hands of consumers. So thankfully the government stepped up and deemed farmers market a food hub instead of a social gathering place.
At the front we have an attendant and an entrance.
And we saw that shift happen, and the markets are running very differently than what you typically expect when you think of a farmer's market with music and things like that. It shifted only into food.
So we have a hand sanitizing area at the entrance.
It's none of the artisan, things like that, and it's become a vital food hub with a lot of rules and regulations about how to access food when you go there.
How would you describe the value that consumers can reap from shopping for local goods?
Well, you get more food security. Like we see at the grocery stores, they're limiting the number of packages of eggs or chicken breasts. And when you're finding local farms that you can partner up with and support, oftentimes you're able to somewhat skip some of those issues.
Because most of what we source is local, we haven't really seen the supply chain issue. We buy direct a lot, so there is no middleman. They're not bringing stuff in over borders. I know for myself, like, you know, when something like this happens and they start talking about shutting down borders and you don't have the transportation or whatever, it just, I don't know, makes me feel more secure myself, because it's like, okay, well, I know even if they shut all that down or whatever, like, I know I can still access food.
Producers like Central Park are among many other farms who are changing the way that they feed their community. For Fraser Focus, I'm Kier Junos.